There's no point complaining about mobile phones anymore, or people that use mobile phones, or it's changing us for the worse. And I would argue the opposite of that, actually. They're here to stay, and everybody is running their lives on them. It's their email, it's a phone, it's a camera, it's their social networks, your notepad, it's their scanner. It's all these things combined. And that is really what people want. These solutions have been driven by individual desire and need to make our lives easier and also more connected. So, the telecoms companies and Flow have played a really important part. And, we've seen this over the last, 2 decades that FAC has been in business in the Caribbean, is as the networks and the telecoms providers have put in place better, faster, more reliable networks, e-commerce has continued to grow and more recently explode as people get more comfortable with the technology. But you have to use that technology properly.
The likes of Grace Spice Hamilton, who is one of our popular Jamaican artists. She was speaking about her businesses and just what tips and everything in terms of how we move into the future. But I think for us in the e-commerce space, this is one of the things that we were really trying to push through that. Not only is it brick and mortar for or small businesses in Jamaica, and many of them were shuttered, especially because of the pandemic. Now, in entering the e-commerce space, it really gives you an opportunity to totally transform your entire customer experience. I think that's the key message that we wanted to bring to them. I mean, we had smart solutions that on display that allowed companies to really set up their own websites and everything within days, so that they have that sort of online presence. But just to have that online presence isn't enough, as Chris mentioned earlier. You have to know that, for instance, you're creating a kind of process. You're not replicating a brick and mortar store online. And that's the mistake that many businesses do make. What you're trying to do is reduce all the friction that normally would take place within a brick and mortar space and make it much easier and convenient for the customer at the front end. So from ordering, from viewing your products, all the way through the logistics supply chain or delivery to the client, it's all that ideation that you're trying to remove the various levels of friction on that entire customer journey. It's not just about entering the e-commerce space. It's about understanding what your customer experience is, the kind of customers you're particularly targeting, and understanding how do you fix and shorten that journey so that it's so easy for the consumer. So that, for instance, you've seen Amazon sort of one-click ordering. The options are presented to the consumer. They're able to make their decisions in a second. And then also it's wired in their brains that this is a site I'm going to come back to once again in the future.